This is where it's going. So, are you going to be at the whims completely of the public and the public's interest rates and the public's recessions and depressions and the public's locks downs, and the public's price controls and austerity? They're raising taxes. We need austerity. Are you going to be subject to the public's whims, or are you going to be administering private estates and public recessions? In order to administer private estates and public recessions, which is the topic of this episode. You like that segue? Yeah. We need to understand. We need to comprehend what's really going on, We need to comprehend what's really going on. I'm about to jab out. We're gonna stream. If you're listening to this on the internet, you're gonna call in right now. 563-999-3625. 563-999-3625. Because I know I'm gonna stream probably for I don't even know how long. It's gonna be a minute. I'm gonna go over the time limit. But we need to understand, we need to comprehend what it is. What is it? What is it? What is it? It's public and private. It's public and private. It's public and private. Now, it is public and private. It's still there. You listen to these people, they say democracy, we got to protect our democracy. But then you read the Supreme Court and they be talking about protecting the republic and so on and so forth. It's confusing. It's confusing. But it's public and private. United States is a service corporation. I don't care what you say. You and people, look. Poverty screams while wealth whispers. Let me say it again. Poverty screams while wealth whispers. Get up out of here. Look, if you don't have water coming out your tap, if you don't have hot water coming out there, to take a shower, if you don't have trash service, if you don't have sewer service, you can flush your toilet, get that waste away from you in your home, in your house, if you don't have electricity coming to your thing, I mean, how many, and I'm not advocating the public, I'm not advocating the United States. I don't advocate for any brand or any company or any corporation. Things is dead. And at any point in time, there's another corporation that's going to take its place. We got to understand the United States is a corporation, man. The states incorporated themselves and then signed on to the United States, man. That's what happened, man. It's a corporation. All kinds of commercial. Period. It's all commerce. It's all interstate and intrastate commerce. Inter and intra. Outside and inside. It's commerce. Nothing will be problem. People will be living. Look, it would not. Look, and I'm not sitting here, giving credit to nobody, no thing. What I'm saying is, it's public and it's private. Public and it's private. If you understand that the contract is created by man, or men and women, or just women, doesn't really matter. Contracts are created. So, our contract gonna govern the creator. The Constitution is a contract. It's a trust indenture. How does a dead piece of paper, never had life, real life, ever, sheets of paper, look, ain't even natural, not even natural, formed from natural substance, but in an unnatural form. Public and private. Constitution is a trust indenture. It governs what? Does it govern living, breathing? You have to understand it's public and private. So, if United States Corporation, what? How are you and your family interfacing with commerce? How are you and your family, living and breathing, interfacing with the Service Corporation? With public structures, individuals, LLCs, corporations, that's it? Nah, individual. No, this is my birth certificate. This is mine. Look, man, it has a state seal on it, man. State seal. Don't have no private family seal, man. I've been saying this for years. I don't care what anyone says. It has a state seal on that joker. And when you sign a check from a personal checking account and all other checking accounts, the line that you sign on is not a line. It's microprint, and it says authorized signature, authorized signature, authorized signature. Authorized. You are authorized to utilize that public structure. But did you know there's private structures? Probably, if you're checking out this show. Because the state cannot limit the availability of structures that are able to be utilized in the public and within its jurisdiction. Unless it is another public structure, like, a structure, an LLC from Florida trying to, do its dance in New York. Service corporation with little service corporations, service corporation, United States, sub-corporations, little sub-service corporations, the states, 50 of them. You got one service corporation, umbrella. You got 50 subcorps, man. Come on, man. You got 50 subcorporations, man. Then you got the District of Columbia, which is 10 square miles. It's a district. It's not a state. And it's where the United States is located, man. It's where the commercial Congress sits. That's why they moved the capital from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. Why? Because they didn't move it. They just created and established the corporate capital of the United States, man. The Republic capital is still in the same spot. Well, you can debate me all you want. It is a service corporation with subcorporations, and every corporation that is organized under any subcorporation and under any state of Arizona, state of Texas. It's like, from the way we look at it, it's like grandchildren. It's like grandma is the United States, and mom and dad and uncles and stuff, those are the states the corporate states, state of Vermont. Those are like the aunts and uncles and the moms and dads and stuff, right? And all the little brothers and sisters and cousins who run around and stuff, those are every corporation is like a third generation from the United States, man. Every single corporation in the United States, every single corporation in every state, if it has a federal EIN. You got these governments going through austerity. You got these governments dealing with inflation. You got these governments dealing with their stock markets crashing. You got these governments and their corporations laying off employees. We're entering a recession. It's crazy. You and your family are going to hurt badly in the next 3 to 5 years if you don't understand what I'm saying right now. If you only have access to state structures, I'm going to call them cousin structures. The mother structure is the state of. The grandmother structure is the United States, man. Cousin structures. Whether you're an employee of one, they'll lay you off. They'll force you to get a poke, and then, you got Supreme Courts stating that was a violation. That was violating foods. So you got quiet lawsuits happening right now. During a recession, and they're laying people off. They're getting sued. They're laying more people off. You got problems with geopolitics. You got problems with availability of products. This is not going to get any better anytime soon. I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm saying that because it's truth. You want to get prepared. It's going to rain outside. What are you going to do? Before you walk outside, what do? At the very least, you put on poke a hole in the trash bag and stuff. Throw that over your head or something. But no, I'm serious. It's for preparation. But, I'm not one of those people that, anti, the service corporation. I ain't got time to be mad at a corporation. It's just, to me, it's illogical. United States, the state, look, what? I don't have time to be mad at real humans, man. I ain't got time. Like, look, what? Fam, keep it moving. That's just me. So I look at things differently, right? I feel like I have a certain comprehension of what's going on. And I'm just attempting to share that with y'all. Here's what I'm getting at. Private estates and public recessions, it happens different. With a private estate, when we're private, we understand that the public is all poof. Instruments, certificates of deposits, stocks, equities, bonds, treasuries. It doesn't matter. It's all paper. It's all paper with a bunch of words on it. It's typed. I don't care what the font is. Mongolian, maybe. Whatever. It's just paper. It's just paper. It's not real, tangible wealth or assets. We private. We know that. We've been operating privately for years over here at the foundation. Here, trustees and training and stuff. We've been quietly acquiring silver and gold and other precious metals for years, hand over fist. What was it? Dollar cost average is what I was telling people. And I kind of stopped talking about gold and silver because it's crazy. Premiums are crazy now. It's one of those things that, you get it while you can, because there's going to be a point where you can't get it no more. It's just going to be too expensive. And we're starting to get there. Please believe me. The paper market versus the actual physical market of silver and gold and these precious metals is starting to what is it? Separate. How about that? So you look at the spot price of gold and silver, and then go walk into a dealer and see how much they, see how close you get into that spot price when you walk out there with an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver. It's kind of like a slow-moving train. Don't matter. It's still going to tear you up. It could be going 5 miles an hour. It's a train. You're not going to stop it. It'll still cut your foot off. It's all bad. So with this whole entire thing, when private, we've been dealing with this and handling this in a certain way. If you haven't been thinking like this, maybe you're private, you have the structures, you just, it's a lot, and you've been busy, I got to work, and I got kids, and all these reasons, you know what I'm saying? I love you, but all these reasons, we may be in for a tough time. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say. Poverty screams while wealth whispers. So maybe hey man, you have to join Trusty Trade. You have to get your private estate structured. You have to get your private estate structured. You gotta know what's going on. You gotta understand what inflation is. Inflation is an increase of overall prices. That's only half of it, right? Because we'll probably understand that there's cause and effect. There's correspondence. The yin and yang dance. So, we have an increase in overall prices. What's the reverse of that? If that's the obverse, what's the reverse? It's a coin, right? Two sides of a coin. What is the reverse of an increase in overall prices? If you have an increase, right? Okay, the opposite of increase is decrease. So if it is increase in overall prices, it'd be a decrease in overall value. The increase in overall prices of what? Goods and services. Decrease in overall value of what? The currency. The dollars, man. The notes, man. Oh, prices are going high. We're going to do price controls. And a lot of people are going to fall for it. Mark my words. But we will understand and know that it is not that the prices are increasing. It's that the value of these notes are dropping. How are you going to, they'll tell you, hey, we're going to CNN live report. Yo, check this out. Live from the scene. I'm here reporting to let y'all know that inflation is actually the devaluation of the money that they're paying us every 2 weeks. And they know it. From the job to the government. Man, it would be pandemonium. You know how many people would demand raises? Look, it would mess their system up. You have to understand, look at it from the other side. There's two sides to the coin. You always have to remember that. Always. Otherwise, you're only looking at half the picture and you think you know the full story. And maybe you're lucky. Maybe you're very, very intelligent. I don't know. Inflation, price increases. Oh, it's more expensive at the pump. It's more. It's the gas. It's the business owners and it's the stockholders. And, it's all these guys. It's not us. It's these guys. Most people will. Most people's going to G for it. Going to be mad at places like Target. You're charging too much. You know what cotton is? They make that Target brand shirt, right? You know what cotton is, man? They got to get it assembled in Taiwan. Then they got to get it shipped over here, and there's shortages, and there's lag time on ships, and there's Somalian pirates, and they're raising taxes and tariffs. And then they go buy cotton again, and it's more expensive. Why? Because there was a drought and a famine. Look, and diesel's more expensive because there's only 25-day supply left in the whole United States. And we're mad at the company. We roll with it. Oh yeah, you guys are charging too much. You're greedy corporate pigs. And of course, there's greed everywhere, right? Like, come on, man. There's no greed. You just saying everybody. Look, it's not the truth. The truth of the matter is they put in too much money. It got too out of hand, and we're dealing with inflation right now in prices, and they're going to raise interest rates. And what does that do? It makes the cost of money more expensive. So if money's more expensive, they're trying to artificially revalue the currency by raising inflation. I mean, they're raising interest rates. Think about it. You better call in 60 seconds. Otherwise, we're going to be streaming. You're going to get cut off. I'm talking about private estates and public recessions. And these are the money dances they do, and most people have no idea what's going on because it's subtle, and we're told constantly on one side of the story. We got shortages in everyday goods, electronic component shortages in certain food supplies, food stocks, shortages in parts, high prices, car parts, repair anything. Try to repair anything right now. Long wait times. Almost hyperinflation, maybe, you know? But we'll see. Ultimately, we'll see. During public recessions, private estates typically add to their wealth. I'm just going to tell you that way right now. Let's just get it over with. Private estates and public recessions is one of the greatest times to be a private trustee for your private estate. It's great because, for the entire time where the suppression of real assets has been ongoing, such as gold and silver and certain other precious metals, and of course, we saw the run up in the prices of homes and stuff, but land itself remained relatively cheaper. Undeveloped land, partially developed land didn't really go too crazy. It's the cities, certain city areas, communities, metro areas really got crazy. It wasn't everywhere. See, private estates require assets continuously because it's a part of the contract indenture of the trust. We have the knowledge, we know what currency is, and we operate accordingly. And when the recessions and depressions come around, and interest rates are raised up and people start selling stuff to pay their bills, to buy food because it's very expensive, to buy gasoline because it's very expensive, to buy cars because they're very expensive, to pay their rent or their mortgages because they're very expensive. These are the times that private estates start acquiring assets called dry powder. Dry powder is, cash available, cash or cash equivalents, fungible assets or mediums of wealth that can easily be converted to cash or cash equivalent to acquire assets out of the public. People aren't really getting loans. Interest rates are high. Loan requirements on properties and vehicles are becoming more stringent. This is when private family banks start issuing private financing. You see, when private estates enter times of public recessions, it is an opposite. It's a yin and yang type scenario. This is a boom time for the private coming up. Recessions, inflation, so on and so forth. Properly administered private estates. We look forward for these times. They're talking about revaluing global currencies against hard assets. It's going to be gold and silver. All sovereign countries, sovereign nations have been buying large amounts of gold for years. There's financiers in governments, in high-level administrations, and NGO, non-governmental organizations that are much better at this than I am. And with the proper information and the proper numbers, you can easily track and anticipate what's going on. And if I saw this stuff coming and knew inflation wasn't transitory and so on and so forth, I have a business degree, not a finance degree. It's crazy, and I'm sure it's something to behold. But now with premiums of gold and silver crazy. Do you know that there's a precious metal called rhodium that just a few short years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, you can pick up for $700, $600 an ounce? And right now it's just under $15,000 an ounce. $15,000. From $700 to $15,000. See, during hyperinflation, the prices of real assets go to the roof. So when you go to market to sell them, you have a lot of room or meat on the bone, is what they say, to negotiate and still walk away with a good deal. And if you were participating with the foundation, we were purchasing gold and silver, $100, $50, $20 every paycheck went down to get some silver. You witnessed slowly the market change. You witnessed the premiums increase. You witnessed the scarcity of metals. I had people calling me and telling me, man, I was in my dealer. He had no eagles. He said one guy came in and cleaned them out yesterday. How can one guy go into a store and clean out the entire dealer of all their silver? It's called a shortage. It was a shortage. There's a shortage of copper, shortage of diesel fuel, shortage of gold. What do all these have in common? They're commodities. They're considered commodities. Study commodities. If you're in a situation where, you're not necessarily prepared for this, what you can do right now is pay down all your credit card debt, all lines of credit debt. Pay it down, because it's just going to kill you. It's going to kill your private wealth, because this is what they're doing. The public, it's like they take all of the private people that are connected to the public and turn them upside down and shake them like every 8 to 10 years. Last time was 2008. 8 to 12 years or so. There's like, they do this thing. It's a regular occurrence. And then, like, you're a part of one of them, and you witness it, and you're like, whoa, crazy. And then if you start researching, you'll see, like, man, this just happened. Oh, it just happened. Oh, man, this happens like every 10, 12 years, man. Like clockwork. Then you start standing this, what's going on? So credit card debt, line of credit, pay it down. Interest kills wealth when paid, but it builds wealth when charged. This time, private estates, private family banks are privately funding deals at very high interest rates, 15%, 25%. Why? Because in the market it's 8% interest, and you can't get a loan at that interest. You don't qualify. That's why. Just because it's recession or a depression doesn't mean that money can't be made. A lot of money is made during recessions and depressions. It's just that most people are on the losing side of it. But who's on the other side? That's what I'm saying. We have to start thinking in dualities, two sides of the coin. There's another side of the ledger. There's another side of the table. There's another side to the deal. There's another side of the story. But this is a regular occurrence. Now's the time if you want to get stocks, I guess. Not legal advice, not financial advice, not trading advice, or not financial advice. But now these blood in the streets, stock was crazy. Target says, that the stock dropped 13%. Now's the time. And look, who knows it's the bottom yet? Because, this stuff is going. It's hard to time the bottom. It's hard to time the top in these fantasy markets. Fantasy land. It's hard to time the markets. Now's the time if you want to get into stocks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi and stuff. Or maybe not yet. Maybe you wait and watch this stuff go down some more. Ride the wave down a little bit more. I'm not really a trader, so I don't really know. But I do know these stock prices for these companies are cheap. Now, is it a company that's going anywhere or not? I mean, that's something to take into consideration. There's some brands that, they're not going anywhere. Some brands, they're out of here. They're gone. Like MySpace and America Online. I was trying to think of companies that were really big and then they're just gone. I remember, you got mail. I was so young and hated hearing that. I really didn't even know what it meant. I was so young, but man, I hated that. And then MySpace. I remember in school, man, I got a MySpace page. Check on my everybody was famous. It was the first wave of weirdos. And now everybody got a camera and stuff. But if you're looking to get into the fantasy land, you buy when there's blood in the streets. Blood in them streets. As far as like commodities, gold and silver and stuff, possibly you missed the boat unless you find some deals, and I wouldn't say miss the boat, keep trying, but like the great prices, but, never stop purchasing gold and silver. But, that dollar cost average, that $100, that $20 is getting less and less silver as we continue on. Start a garden or, a small garden, backyard garden, a window garden. It doesn't matter. What is it? Herbs, thyme, basil, things of that nature. Really simple to grow inside. Little small pot. Even a bowl, a little plastic old Tupperware bowl or cup or something like that. These things. Coriander. I've grown all this stuff, in an apartment window. So that's what I'm saying. And you reduce expenses. It reduces some expenses, of course, because herbs, especially fresh herbs, are crazy expensive, especially in an inflationary environment. It gets stupid. You're gonna say you just want to reduce your dependence on the public as much as possible because it's going to start hurting. And you don't want to be connected to people that's hurting and, or bodies because, the public body. Window gardens, herb gardens. Come on, man, you can do it. Get a little bit of dirt, a little something, a little bag or so, $10, $15. Get some seeds and watch some YouTube videos. Reduce the dependence. Reduce expenses, subscription services, Netflix. Look, your local library will buy any movie or TV series on DVD or Blu-ray if you request it. They'll send you an email or call you when it comes in, when they get it, and then you can just go rent it. And with the right software and a CD or DVD drive or Blu-ray drive, you know what I'm saying? Reduce expenses. You don't need Netflix, man. You don't need Spotify. You don't need the players, man. The subscription services. You need to get off that stuff. You remember we used to remember MP3 players? Y'all remember the MP3 players? Huh? You used to put it was your like. We put our CDs in the computer, and we put the music on the little device. And instead of like having to put a bunch of CDs or whatever, 50, 30 gigs, 80 gigs, 30 gigs of memory, man. You can put your whole lot, man. Remember, you own art, and then you put it on your device. And now they want you to do subscription services. You can stream it and you can pay more and you can skip it or make your own, or you can listen to the whole album without any shuffles if you pay. Look, man, own your own stuff. Quit playing these games with subscription services and stuff, man. It's crazy. We live in a digital age, man. You paying for stuff you don't need to pay for. I'm telling you. It's crazy. But yeah, utilize local services, local free services. The public library, y'all tripping. Public library, I'm telling you, even if it's just use it as a a blockbuster video or something like back in the day. And you be like, oh, you can only do a couple movies. Have your husband get a library card. Have your children get. And then now they can all get. Look, just figure it out. You're gonna start. Listen. You need to start reducing your expenses right now. You need to get to bare bones because here we go. And you need to start stashing cash and start grabbing silver and gold as responsibly as you can. This is not trading or financial advice. If you can, right now, consolidate homes, especially if you rent. Swallow your pride. Check that ego. You rented an apartment, you got a condo or something. Family, your uncle, your brother or something, they got a big house, they got a room or two. Go holler at them. Look, man, I'm trying to consolidate, save some money. Can I rent your room? We can share the, whatever. I'll be quiet, whatever I'll keep to myself. You was living in an apartment anyways. You're probably going to end up with more space. You're going to pay less. You're going to be able to save more. So at the very least, if you reduce your expenses as much as you possibly can, you won't be subject to quality of life reductions. As the prices of things increase, you'll have more money to buy it because you're spending less money over here. You're spending less money on rent. You're spending less money on Netflix and ESPN Plus. You're spending less money on Spotify. You're spending less money on Amazon just buying stuff. Amazon's in trouble. Amazon might not make it, y'all. Twitter might not make it through this. There's companies that ain't made it to here, and there's going to be companies that don't make it. There's going to be families that don't make it. There's going to be people who don't make it. Right now, reduce your expenses, y'all. And if you haven't already, I think it's time for trustee training. It's time to learn how to utilize private structures, how to structure your private estate. Structure your private estate. Transition into private, there's a lot of ways to say the things, Recognize to do business in over 120 countries according to the Hague Convention. I'm serious. I've done it. I have done it. I'm telling you. Can't tell me nothing because I have the actual experience. This isn't something I watched on YouTube. Somebody, some talk, they told me how to do it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to try that. But didn't really try it, just started telling people that I did it. No, none of that stuff. Straight up, know from experience. Print the paper off on your printer, bring it to a notary, have them notarize your signature. Go on the IRS website, get an EIN for the trust. Walk into a bank, opening a bank account. The trust has to have a purpose. If it's a business trust, it's a business purpose. But, trustee training is business trust, asset trust, and family trust. But you should email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. As far as I'm concerned, it's a no-brainer. And like I said earlier, trustee training, the foundation itself, is really what I wished I would have ran into when I first, got put onto trust and the significance of these structures. So yeah, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Shoot me an email. Book a consultation. I would suggest you book a consultation. Let's chop it up. But, you know, we got the final trustee training because I am retiring. Been doing this for 7 years, over 7 years. Been doing this. I don't know how I got started. This wasn't planned. Yusuf will tell you the same thing. You know, stuff that don't be planned. But I know when the curtain's gonna drop. And, you know, I need to do other things. I'm just, you know, it's hard to set aside time for these things these days. But I love you as always. And, no, check it out. Final session of trustee training. Last day to sign up, January 23rd, 2023. You got them on a month and a half. Get it together. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. That's it. It's the final session of trustee training here at the foundation with Sot L. So we got that going on. We got the giveaway, some merchandise giveaway. We partnered, you know, the foundation partnered with Bay Area Gear. Shout out to Bay Area Gear. That's Bay Area Gear. Yes, Bay Area Gear. We'll be giving away, you know, sponsoring one trustee for trustee training. Sign up for the email list. Sign up is at welcometothefoundation.com. But most importantly, trustee training. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Just shoot me an email. Trustee training. You got until January 23rd. You can sign up now. We're about in the middle of a session. You can get the rest of this session in, you know, the full final session. December 31st, 2022, the foundation will no longer offer training for private family foundations. The foundation only offers training for private family foundations to trustees who are or were in training here at the foundation, or those people who can show that they have training or extensive knowledge with the administration of private trusts. It's a tax-exempt entity. You're getting charitable deductions on individual and business taxes. You can get into a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of hot water. So at the end of the day, it is a trust with the charitable purpose. So December 31st, 2022, about a month and a half, private family foundation education. That's a wrap. That's it. It's the last day, December 31st. January 23rd, 2023 is the last day that the foundation will accept new signups for trustee training. That's it. I'm saying this every single show, putting out the email multiple times a week. I'm serious. I love y'all, but I'm serious. And finally, June 30th, 2023, if you are a trustee, you have my private mobile number. As of June 30th, 2023, I will no longer be in possession of said number, or said number will no longer exist. It will be passed on to the Board of Trustees in the transition of the foundation. The foundation is not going anywhere. There's just going to be an administrative transition, and we'll let you know more about that as we get closer to that transition. So, look, I'm not scared. You know, I'm just concerned. I know there's a lot of people that aren't ready for what's coming. I know there's a lot of people that aren't ready for what's coming, and you know. And if you are ready for what's coming and you feel like you're ready, there's a lot of people you know and care about and love that are not ready for what's coming. So it's difficult because, very few cannot support the many. And unless the many are active in their own support, which makes it difficult because if you don't have any necessary skills or knowledge with regards to how to do said thing, it's almost impossible. So we're looking at, some interesting times coming ahead, but just keep your head straight. Make sure you get your hands on the private education while it's available to you. And, reduce your expenses. Pay down on credit cards. Reduce your expenses. Look, consolidate homes. That would be the biggest thing. Consolidate homes. We used to have very large homes back in the day, but that's because at least 3 generations were in the same home. And typically the oldest generation was on the first floor. Bad knees, old knees on all those stairs. The middle generation was on the second floor, and the youngest generation was on the top floor. And typically that's how it was done. Now everybody wants their own spot, and I mean, I get it. Privacy is cool, but there's things that you should probably start thinking about that you never have, and you probably get used to ideas and ways of doing things that you never have because you're about to enter financial and economic situations globally and locally that you've never seen. Trust me, please. If you've listened to my shows long enough, you know that, I'm a pretty good predictor of what's going on, especially when it has to do with finance and markets and things of that nature. Even though, we get into geopolitics and things. So I really want you to think about that, as well as, get your hands on this education. So, you can thrive, There's going to be a lot of wealth passed. This is the wealth transfer we're about to enter. And, if you're in the right position, you can be about ready. I guess you can be about ready. No. You can be with the people who are on the receiving end of that wealth transfer this time. As we go, there's a real wealth transfer, usually a recession or depression. The real wealth travels from the private to the public. And then, during, quote, good times, it's a fake wealth transfer. And, people get a bunch of cash in their accounts. They get, maybe a bunch of stocks, a bunch of equities, maybe get some notes, some securities, some mortgages and stuff. Start acquiring all this paper debt, which isn't wealth. But then during the downtime, they squeeze all that and then pull all your private wealth into the public, and then transfer it into the private on their side. And if you can comprehend that and understand that, you're ahead of 90% of the people out here. But hey, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. It's been a pleasure. I trust that y'all have, at least received some food for thought with regards to this episode, private estates and public recessions. It's a mirrored reality, and once you can get that down, it makes it so much easier. But I'm here to assist. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com, or you can book a consultation at welcometothefoundation.com. You can do all that from the website if you so desire. Before I retire, I'm trying to give y'all the goods. Forget trying to. I'm giving y'all the goods, and we're gonna wrap this up with the bang. And with that being said, I'm really gonna do what I can to let y'all know what this is and what it really is, what's really going on, and what to really do. And what to really do is to get off of this thing, get out of here, get away from it. You walking down the street, you see someone throwing up, like you gonna cross the street, man. Walk in the middle of the street, you're gonna get away from them. That's what the public's doing right now. This gagging, this dry heaving. You don't see these markets. You don't see this inflation. You don't see these shortages. It's dry heaving. It's sick. Get away from it. Reduce your dependence on the public as much as you can, because here we go. But other than that, I know y'all got this. And with proper, instruction, well, specifically proper notice, y'all can figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it happen. with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for checking out the show. I love y'all, and I trust that you'll have a great and luxurious week. And I'll catch y'all next week here on The Foundation. So you make sure that you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It is very important. My name is Sot L. I'm the host of The Foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network, and it has been an absolute illustrious pleasure to be here with you on this episode of The Foundation, Private Estates and Public Recessions. Y'all take care of yourself and enjoy yourself. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.